of the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear a view from the outside. Join Brereton at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on NICERADIO for A View from the Outside.
This society needs a spectacle. It might help us to see some evil. This society needs a spectacle.
Some 29 minutes to go before 8 o'clock. It's the 100th day of the Trump presidency. Yes, 100 days since he's been the president of the United States of America. There's an election coming up in the UK. A whole lot of stuff happening across the globe. Brereton Horn brings us up to steam with a view from the outside every Saturday morning right here on the nation's nicest. Good morning to you, Brereton.
Good morning to you, Randy. How are you?
Doing great, feeling good.
Good to hear you. What's new in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the moment?
Well, it's been a great week, and it's a build-up to hoping to be a much greater week. Could that be possible next week? The front line is doing 500 days and more of protests. We got to big them up. They've got a barbecue happening today, and the people.
Don't preempt my view from the outside, Randy.
Okay, so let me let it be.
How is the weather?
Beautiful Saturday. It is beautiful Saturday. I had my morning walk up and I'm feeling good this morning. I had a rough week after I told you got this build up to the Judy Boucher, the First Lady's show last week.
Yes.
Never got to the show. Got home.
Oh my.
Got home in the afternoon, decided I was going to grab a couple hours and then couldn't get off the bed, man. Rough night, so. But I heard it was a great show.
I'm sorry to hear that. I did hear it was a great show myself, and I've had some feedback from Judy Boucher herself, and she has said that it was thoroughly enjoyable. It was she was thoroughly grateful to the people who put the event together.
Yeah, people are asking when are they going to have stuff like this? When are we going to be doing stuff like this again? Because not too often you get a chance to dress and go and sit and enjoy a great evening.
Yes, Randy, I mean, that is what we've come to, but as you know, we were accustomed to that kind of thing, so let's hope that the time will come when that will again become the norm in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You mentioned the Trump 100 days. Yes, that's been debated a lot in the media, and I'm sure that people who listen and know what's going on there will judge the 100 days for themselves. And you also mentioned the elections coming up here in the United Kingdom. That is next month, in June, 8th of June. And also in relation to that, Theresa May, she's in Wales today, I understand. She's campaigning in Wales, which technically speaking is a Labour heartland, a Labour stronghold area. But we wait to see. As I said, we discussed last week the polls, and you never know. Polls do not necessarily determine the outcome of an election. But also significant today is that the European Union leaders of the other 27 European countries, not including the United Kingdom, of course, are meeting today, and some of the the vibe, so to speak, coming out of that is that they are going to stand united in their deliberations with the United Kingdom towards the Brexit, so to speak. So there's a lot happening, both abroad, and there's a lot happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well. I want to say good morning to all of our listeners, as usual, to all of the listeners of Nice Radio and to all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, wherever you might be, whether at home in St. Vincent and the Grenadines or abroad. Just to let you know that the weather in London today is partly cloudy, and in fact mostly cloudy. Again, the sun is trying to play through with some difficulty. The temperature is 13 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 55 degrees Fahrenheit. On a view from the outside this week, Randy, we look at perseverance, 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 with the view being that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is in need of more brave men and women coming to the fore and taking up the mantle for change and persevering to effect that change. The Collins Dictionary defines perseverance as the quality of continuing with something even though it is difficult. And the Merriam-Webster Dictionary says perseverance is continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. So, if you persevere with something, you keep trying to do or achieve it, no matter what difficulties may arise. You persevere in the face of adversity. It is in this vein that a view from the outside stands in solidarity with the people on the front line in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Those brave women and men are the epitome of perseverance. Yes, it is in this vein that we, on a view from the outside, echo the frontline's call for many more of you to join in solidarity with them. You may no doubt remember that the frontline was born immediately following the general elections of December 2015. Those on the front line, like many others in the country, believe that those elections were stolen. They believe that you, the entire nation, are deprived of the government that you voted for. And so, in the days immediately following the general elections of December 9th, 2015, they took to the streets of Kingstown, the capital, where they remain today, protesting those results. You may remember, too, that in the face of intimidation, police brutality, arrests, insults in Parliament, they have not given up. They have persevered. They have now created history by staging the longest protest in the country. They are now there on the streets of Kingstown for over 500 days. They are the epitome of perseverance. They call on you to join them on the front line. Yes, Vincentians, the challenge is there now for many more of you, many more of us, to persevere in order to achieve the change which we believe will restore the image and the prosperity of the country. We have seen how the New Democratic Party, the NDP, have persevered with their election petitions in the courts, challenging those same election results. They exhibit perseverance despite the interminable delay, which many say is deliberately caused by the ruling regime. They exhibit perseverance despite the incessant ridicule on radio by legal representatives and others of the ruling regime. They exhibit perseverance despite an initial ruling against them by the judge, a ruling against which they won, against which they appealed and won. A victory in which they were told by the Court of Appeal that that judge's decision was tainted with apparent bias. Their quest is not over, and their perseverance continues. They now have a new court date on the 2nd of May 2017, and they ask you to join in solidarity with them. And so, Vincentians, when the call is made for access for all to the beaches in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, let perseverance be at the forefront of your mind. Do not let that call just be a 9 days talk. Let it be one where you persevere despite whatever may be thrown at you. The people of Kanawha need you to join them in their quest to end what they call their apartheid, so that they and you and every other Vincentian and anyone else will enjoy the legal and constitutional right of access to the beaches there. Answer their call and join them in their perseverance. Yes, Vincentians, when the call is made for the ruling regime to be accountable to you, you must persevere until they honor their constitutional obligations to the country. Perseverance is key. You must persevere to ensure that you achieve that accountability despite their efforts to distract you. You must persevere to achieve that accountability despite all of the resistance put in your way. You must persevere not to make excuses not to. Yes, perseverance is key. So, Vincentians, as we move forward as a nation, the call is there for you, all of us, to join our brave women and men on the perseverance path. Let us follow too the examples in history of the brave women and men who stood in the face of adversity and persevered to bring about change. Rosa Parks stood up for all in the USA when she refused to give up her seat and go to the back of the bus, as she was required to do at that time. Martin Luther King Jr. persevered to the point of his assassination. And the United States of America and the rest of the world today enjoy the fruits of his perseverance. Mahatma Gandhi did it for the Indian nation. He persevered despite the beatings, physical beatings, and helped to move India away from colonial rule. Nelson Mandela persevered against the brutal apartheid regime in South Africa, who imprisoned him for 27 years. That did not stop him. He became the president of South Africa and one of the world's greatest statesmen. Yes, Vincentians, perseverance is key. Vincentians, let us all be mindful of the words of Thomas Carlyle, the Scottish philosopher. He said that one must have perseverance in spite of all obstacles, discouragements, and impossibilities. He says, it is perseverance that in all things distinguishes the strong soul from the weak. Vincentians, let us be the strong soul. Until next week, Randy, this is Brereton Horn with A View from the Outside, reminding our listeners to send feedback to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. That's aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. Randy, have a good day, have a good week, and have a very fruitful, have a good weekend, and have a very fruitful week ahead. All the very best to you and all of our listeners.
Brereton, thank you very much, Brereton Horn. A View from the Outside every Saturday morning, right here on the Nation's Nice.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.